Olga shook her head. No, I don't have an appointment, but this is urgent, Alexa. It's important that I speak with him. Can you help me? Please, Alexa, I am begging you. Can you let him know that I am here to see him? He'll want to hear what I have to say. Alexa hesitated, torn between her duty to follow protocol and her desire to help Olga. Finally, she relented, recognizing the seriousness in Olga's tone. All right, I'll inform him. Please have a seat in the waiting area, and I'll see what I can do. When Alexa called the CEO's office, the secretary picked up and said that he was not available until 2 p.m. The secretary had a serious expression in her speech. Tell her to come again with an appointment. Alexa's face became even more apologetic. With the response she was going to give Olga, she approached where Olga was sitting and said, I'm sorry, Olga. It seems that Mr. Hauken is in a meeting and won't be available until 2 p.m. The secretary insisted that you come back with an appointment. Olga's heart sank slightly at the news, but she remained determined. She couldn't afford to wait until 2 p.m. She had to confront James as soon as possible. She nodded at Alexa, understanding the situation but not willing to give up just yet. Thank you, Alexa. I appreciate your help, Olga said, offering a grateful smile before turning to leave the reception area. As she walked toward the waiting area, her mind raced with thoughts of what she would say to James when she finally got the chance to speak with him. She needed to make him understand that she wouldn't tolerate his interference in her life any longer. Sitting in the waiting area, Olga thought that Nick would definitely help her. She had kicked him out last night, but now she needed his help. What a nasty world. She pulled out her phone and sent a quick message to Nick. After all, Nick was James's personal secretary. Hey, Nick, where are you? In less than a minute, Olga's phone buzzed with a response. I am in a meeting with James right now. Why do you ask? Nick was so happy that Olga talked to him again. He was determined to mend his relationship with Olga. When he received a message from Olga, he was overjoyed. Olga quickly typed out a reply, her fingers trembling slightly with anticipation. I am in the lobby, Nick. I need to talk to James urgently. It's important. Can you please ask him to see me as soon as possible? Nick was surprised. Olga wants to see James? Why? She said she never wanted to see him again. I hope she's not here to tell him I am the one who helped her. She hit send and waited anxiously for Nick's response. A few moments later, her phone buzzed again. Wait for me there. I am coming down. Minutes felt like hours as Olga sat in the lobby, her mind buzzing with anticipation and nerves. Finally, she saw Nick approaching with a determined look on his face. He quickly made his way over to her, his steps purposeful. Everyone in the Hawkins Corporation respected and feared Nick. He was James's right-hand man, and no one would dare to offend him. Everyone in the reception area was surprised to see that Nick actually came down for Olga. How does Olga know Nick to the extent that he can personally come to help her? They murmured. Nick looked into all the eyes that were staring at Olga and shouted, Don't you all have work to do? Everyone quickly withdrew their gaze and turned to work. Olga couldn't help but feel a rush of gratitude towards Nick as he came to her aid. She stood up from her seat, her heart pounding with a mix of nervousness and determination. Thank you, Nick, for coming. It's okay, Olga. Let's go to my office. Together they made their way through the bustling lobby and into the elevator. The air in the elevator was tense and charged with tension as they ascended to the top floor, where his office was located. Nick was jealous that Olga had come to see James looking so beautiful. It was normal for Olga. Her beauty was indescribable. He cleared his throat and said, Olga, I must admit, you looked beautiful. Olga blushed and replied, Oh, it's normal. I was just taking Kaya to school. I thought I could pass by and have a word with James. Nick nodded, his expression softening slightly. I see. Well, whatever the reason, James will be eager to see you back at any cost. The elevator door opened, and they stepped out. Nick gestured for Orga to sit on his office sofa and sit opposite her. Orga, at least tell me why you are looking for James. Orga, do I need to worry? Are you going to tell him I am the one who helped you? You know what it means to me. Orga met Nick's gaze, seeing the concern in his eyes. She reached out and placed a reassuring hand on his arm. Nick, I promise I won't put you in any trouble. And no, I'm not here to reveal anything that could harm you, even though I am still angry at you. I owe you much. I just need to talk to James about something personal. I just want to warn him not to try to harm me or anyone close to me. Nick visibly relaxed at her words, though a hint of curiosity still lingered in his expression. All right, Orga. I trust you. Just be careful, okay? James can be unpredictable. Now let me go and inform him of your presence. You stay here. I will. Thank you. Orga nodded, thankfully. James was leading an important meeting. Nick entered and said a few words into his ear. James's face lit up. Without a second thought, he excused himself and went out, Nick following behind him. In the corridor, James asked, "How long has she been waiting?" Nick quickly glanced at his watch before responding. "She's been waiting for about half an hour, sir." James nodded, his mind already racing with possibilities of why Orga would come to see him after all this time. He missed her so much that his heart couldn't take it. He couldn't continue the meeting knowing she was waiting. She was his secret weakness. It's just that he couldn't show it. "Thank you, Nick. I'll take it from here. Go tell her to come to my office," he said, his voice sounding cold and serious. Nick nodded and quickly went back to fetch Orga while James headed to his office. Orga's heart pounded with nervousness as she waited for Nick to return. When he did, he gestured for her to follow him, leading her down the hallway to James's office. As they approached the door, Orga took a deep breath, steeling herself for the confrontation ahead. She couldn't afford to show any weakness, not when it came to James. She had to remain strong and resolute. Nick knocked on the door, and a moment later, James's voice called out, "Come in." James looked at her as she entered. She was simply beautiful. Her eyes, her lips, her whole body. She was still his cute woman. Though her face looked a bit older than she was 5 years ago, she was completely dazzling. It had been 2 weeks since he saw her on the news, and now she was right in front of him. Only God knows how much he wanted to hug her, hold her in his embrace, and never let her out of his sight again. The thought of how he broke her heart brought him back to reality. She was not his anymore, but he was determined to make her his at all costs. Orga met James's gaze head on, her expression serious and determined, though her heart was racing with a mix of emotions. She couldn't deny the rush of feelings that flooded back at the sight of him, but she pushed them aside, focusing on the reason she had come. "James," she began, her voice steady. "This time I come in peace. I will not be afraid to tell you why I am here. I am here to warn you." James's eyes flickered with curiosity, and perhaps a hint of apprehension as he gestured for her to take a seat. "Of course, Orga. Please have a seat. I thought you missed me, but you're warning me," he thought to himself. This girl has completely changed. He approached her and sat opposite her, admiring her beauty. He crossed his legs and said, "Well, you're the only woman who dares to look at me in the eyes and scold me. Now warn me. I am waiting." Orga clasped her hands tightly in her lap as she gathered her thoughts, thinking about where she should start. "I don't know what game you're playing, James, but I won't stand for it any longer. You've hurt me, and I ignored it. But I swear I won't tolerate it if you try to touch the people I love again." James didn't know what she was talking about. He thought for a moment. Could she have found out that I was behind Maggie's media incident? James's expression remained unreadable as he listened to Orga's words. Her beautiful eyes, which used to look at him with so much love and admiration, now looked cold, full of anger or resentment. Instead of thinking about how to answer her, He was thinking about how he could ever win her heart again. "What do you mean, Orga?" James asked, his voice carefully neutral. "I assure you, I have no intention of causing harm to you or anyone related to you." Orga's words hit James like a punch to the gut. "Don't play dumb, James. Do you think I don't know you were the one behind all the gossip that has been going on with Maggie? Or maybe you think I am still the stupid girl you thought I was 5 years ago when I didn't notice you were playing with me the whole year we spent together? Or do you think I can't fight back?" James had thought they had been careful enough not to be exposed. How could she have found out? James had been in a meeting since morning, so he didn't know what was going on the internet. He didn't know that his plans had already failed, and that Luke had admitted to having spread all the rumors. Although he didn't mention James or Nick giving him the instructions, the most important thing was that Orga knew he was the one behind everything. Thankfully, she and Maggie had Frank by their side. Maggie was able to get over the blow that James threw at her. "Orga, I don't know what you're talking about." James acted as if these were the words he had never heard just now. "Even though I have nothing to do with what you're accusing me of, I can promise you that I won't bother you again. But now I also want to ask you something." Orga's gaze remained fixed on James, her determination unwavering. "First, I won't answer any questions. Second, don't insult my intelligence, James," she said, her voice tinged with frustration. "I have evidence, and I know it was you. I won't let you continue to manipulate and hurt the people I care about. I have promised myself that I will never have to meet you again, but you have pushed me into the corner. If you think I won't fight back if you double-cross me again, you are totally wrong." James took a deep breath to compose himself. He leaned forward, his gaze meeting Orga's with a newfound intensity. "Orga, I understand that you're upset, and I truly regret any pain I may have caused you. Trust me when I say I have been paying for every tear you've shed because of me." Looking defeated, he lowered his eyes. "Orga, I agree. I was jealous to see that man close to you. That's why I did what I did, but I didn't mean to harm Maggie. Trust me, I can never hurt you again." Orga narrowed her eyes skeptically, not fully convinced by James's words. "And why should I believe you now, James? You've lied to me before, manipulated me, and hurt me. What makes this any different?" James sighed, realizing he had to offer more than just words if he wanted to regain Orga's trust. "Because I care about you, Orga, and because I regret the decision I made 5 years ago. Despite everything that's happened between us, I still have feelings for you, and I still want to be with you. I want to make things right. Please, give me a chance to prove that I'm not the person you think I am." "You regret what? Has your brain died? Let me remind you of the words that came from your mouth 5 years ago when I asked you about why you betrayed me." She stood up and got closer to him as she repeated his words as if they were said yesterday. "Did you think you could be Mrs. Hawkins with your background? You are not the only virgin I had. I was just enjoying your beautiful body. I have never loved you. I was just enjoying being with you." She said those words one by one, slowly for him to remember. "Right now you're living with your wife, and you are getting jealous of seeing me with another man? Oh, do you miss enjoying my beautiful body? James, don't ever in your life bring those words out of your mouth again, because me getting back with you is like fire and water. It will never happen." James winced as Orga recited his past words, each one cutting deeper than the last. He felt the weight of his past actions bearing down on him, the pain he had caused her resurfacing with vengeance. He remained silent, unable to find the right words to defend himself or to ease the hurt he had inflicted. Orga's voice softened, though the anger still simmered beneath the surface. "I'm sorry, James, but there are some wounds that can't be healed with a simple apology. You may have regrets now, but they don't change what happened between us. I can't go back to the person I was when I was with you. I've grown, I've learned, and I won't allow myself to be hurt like that again." James hung his head, a heavy silence enveloping them both. That time when you said you had something to tell me? Were you pregnant? Is your daughter, the girl I saw on the news with you, is she mine?